All right, to the weather now. It was another hot one today. If you had access to a pool, good time to be in the pool with a change of weather coming our way. Ramisha Shade has the first look. Hello, Ramisha.
Hi, Tom. Well, yeah, even at the pool, it didn't feel that great out there today. And even right now, the feels like temp still into the triple digits for many spots, including a feels like temp of 106 for you in Katy, between 100 to 102 right here in H-Town. Of course, that's when you add the humidity, which is pretty thick out there, along with the actual temperature. So still not feeling great out there. Take it easy. Be careful. We've got one more day of this near record heat to deal with before we get a change. Few storms possible for tomorrow, but then several rounds of heavy rain and strong storms likely on the way, off and on for the rest of the week. So I hope you enjoyed the dry time. It's coming to an end, but at least it won't feel as miserable. But if you are trying to get out there on the water, maybe a boat ride or jet ski time, or just going to the beach, relaxing, having some fun, reading a book, listening to some music, it is going to be fairly quiet and pretty nice weather for that this evening. However, you will have to endure the heat. It's not just Houston dealing with temps that are super toasty out there. Actual temperature right now in the middle 90s for Houston, but we still got triple digits showing up around Midland, Laredo, 102 to 103 degrees. But also notice we've got a few frontal boundaries kind of draped across North Texas and Oklahoma. Those systems are kicking off severe storms already, and you can see this severe thunderstorm watch. That includes Abilene right now west of Dallas, but this area is going to have a very high risk for potential damaging wind gusts, maybe 80+ mile-per-hour winds for the late night hours. You don't see the severe wind risk this high that often, but almost a 50-50 shot for the Dallas-Fort Worth area tonight for 80+ mile-per-hour winds. That is a very high chance. So you can see that big risk for severe weather for Dallas. We are right on the edge. So these big time severe storms are going to roll through the Dallas area tonight, likely around 9-10 o'clock. And then they're going to try to ease their way into here. Look at this big blob of strong to severe storms right around 10 p.m. It's right on top of Dallas, likely severe thunderstorm warnings, also the low threat for a few tornadoes. This is going to drop south and east, and you're wondering, will it make it here? Will it wake me up early in the morning? Will we have severe weather? Well, we're right on the edge, so I can't totally rule it out, but most of the models are hinting that this big cluster of storms will weaken by the time it makes it to our area. So 7, 8 a.m. tomorrow, Huntsville, College Station, up towards Crockett, maybe some heavy downpours, rumbles of thunder, but I don't expect a big severe threat here. Things will change though later this week. Monday evening, maybe a few showers popping up, but as this front finally starts to sink into the area for Tuesday evening, 7 o'clock, it's time to drag out the rain gear because we've got showers and storms bubbling up on the radar and likely some flood advisories with some very heavy rain showing up from the Woodlands to Aldine to Houston Tuesday evening and Tuesday night. That's not going to be our only round. Wednesday afternoon, 3-4 p.m., more heavy rain sitting right on top of it. So this is going to be the pattern day after day after day as we go through this work week. In fact, this model over the next 7 days showing most of you picking up an additional 2 to 4 inches of rain through the beginning of next weekend. So enjoy your pool time for this evening because after today, it's going to get a little dicey, less ideal pool time ahead because we will have more storms around. So one more day of near record heat, 96 tomorrow, 89 Tuesday, 87 Wednesday, a lot more rain around, especially if you're trying to enjoy some pool time Tuesday evening, Wednesday evening. Not going to be the best time. Downpours, strong storms, 70% shot for those days, still a 60% chance for Thursday. And even as we go into next weekend, we're still keeping that chance for spotty to scattered storms in the forecast. But here's a little bit of good news. Yes, the weather takes a turn, but enjoy the cooler high temps in the 80s Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.